a guy by the name of Forrest Fenn hid some treasure worth, at the time, everybody's saying $1 to $5 million.
Find the treasure chest, and it's yours.
Justin Posey wasn't just a participant in the wild treasure hunt for Forrest Fenn's legendary treasure. He decided to flip the script and create his own treasure hunt. Not only did he join the ranks of treasure hunters, but he also became the ultimate treasure hider. As the star of Netflix's docuseries Golden Greed, The Hunt for Fenn's Treasure, Posey revealed something incredible to the world. He had hidden a treasure of his own, one that could potentially be bigger and more valuable than Fenn's treasure itself. And he wasn't just hiding gold coins or artifacts. No, Posey went above and beyond. His treasure included gold bars, historical relics, and even a meteorite. But this wasn't just about finding some chest in the wild. It was about solving puzzles, deciphering clues, and embarking on an adventure that would keep seekers captivated for years to come. Posey's treasure hunt began as a vision. It wasn't just about putting together some treasure chest and calling it a day. Posey wanted to create a modern-day treasure map, a quest that would require both intellect and persistence. He understood that the allure of treasure hunts is not just about the prize at the end. It's about the journey, the process, the mystery, and he designed this hunt with that in mind. He didn't just want treasure hunters to find something, he wanted them to work for it. So in typical Posey style, he embedded clues everywhere. In his interviews, in his book Beyond the Map's Edge, and even within the very set design of the Netflix documentary, he gave seekers a piece of the puzzle with every public appearance. It wasn't just a treasure hunt, it was an experience. The idea of Posey hiding his own treasure is rooted in the global obsession with Forrest Fenn's treasure, which had been hidden in the Rocky Mountains and remained elusive for years. Fenn's treasure became a legend, the kind of thing that captured the imagination of adventurers, treasure hunters, and the curious around the world. But when Fenn's treasure was found, Posey saw an opportunity. He had already been collecting valuable artifacts and historical objects for years, including gold bars, artifacts, and even a meteorite, items worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The treasure chest Posey had accumulated was not just an ordinary collection of valuables, it was an adventure waiting to happen. And rather than just sit on this treasure, Posey decided to turn it into a challenge. The hunt began in earnest when Posey, who had never been part of the production team for the Netflix docuseries, started planting clues for treasure hunters. As the show aired, viewers began to realize that Posey had been strategically revealing small hints and seemingly innocuous details that could lead them to the hidden loot. The big moment came when, towards the end of the docuseries, Posey took things up a notch. He filmed a self-shot video and sent it to Netflix at the last minute, ensuring that the production team, editors, and staff wouldn't have a head start. It was all part of the plan. Posey had ensured that the treasure hunters would have a fair chance and that the hunt wouldn't be sabotaged by inside knowledge. It was, in Posey's words, a carefully orchestrated game, one that required strategy, precision, and a bit of luck. Of course, Posey's treasure hunt wasn't just for fame or fortune. He had been preparing for this moment for years. Posey's background as a software engineer and technologist played a pivotal role in this hunt. Before he became famous, Posey was investing in the tech world, and his early investments in Netflix proved to be one of his most lucrative decisions. By the time he started hiding treasure, Posey had already made a fortune in tech, which gave him the freedom to chase his passions, like treasure hunting. The treasure itself, according to Posey, wasn't just valuable because of the gold. It was valuable because it represented a journey. The hunt for the treasure wasn't just about what you find at the end. It was about how you found it and the adventure you embarked upon along the way. Posey didn't reveal everything at once. He carefully crafted the mystery, knowing that the clues would require hunters to dig deep. They had to understand the history of the items in his collection, the significance of the meteorite, the gold bars, and the relics. Posey also knew that people would overanalyze every clue, and that was part of the thrill. The treasure hunt was designed not just as a way to find hidden gold, but as an intellectual challenge. Posey created an interactive experience where seekers weren't just looking for a chest, they were piecing together a story, connecting dots, and diving deep into history. But it wasn't just the clues in the interviews or the book that posed a challenge. Posey also knew that treasure hunters would be actively searching in real locations, trying to uncover the exact spot where he had hidden the treasure. Just like Fenn's treasure hunt, Posey's puzzle required the seekers to consider geography, landmarks, and physical clues that might not be immediately apparent. He strategically placed the treasure somewhere in the wild, waiting for the right person to solve the puzzle. Posey's treasure was hidden, but the thrill of the hunt was equally important. He gave gave just enough to get people started, but the real challenge lay in deciphering the complexity of the clues he provided. As the treasure hunt progressed, Posey began to notice something unexpected. The hunt had become a global sensation. People from around the world were actively participating, analyzing clues, and sharing theories. Posey had created something far bigger than just a personal treasure hunt. He had sparked a global movement, a mystery that had people on the edge of their seats, waiting for someone to finally solve the puzzle. And Posey? He had anticipated it all. He'd never imagined that his treasure hunt would become this monumental. But it wasn't just about the treasure anymore. It was about the story, the journey, and the connections he had created between treasure hunters around the world. To make the treasure hunt even more intriguing, Posey kept hints subtle. He didn't want to just throw out direct answers. He wanted hunters to be able to see the bigger picture. Every clue, every statement, every detail could be dissected in 100 different ways. In the end, Posey knew that the true value of the treasure lay in the adventure itself. It wasn't about the gold. It was about the experience, the thrill, and the sense of accomplishment that would come to the first person who managed to piece together the clues and find the treasure. The treasure hunt has only intensified as hundreds of treasure hunters, eager to get a piece of Posey's treasure, have flooded his social media accounts. Posey has received over 1,000 messages an hour from people who believe they're close to solving the riddle. But this level of attention wasn't something Posey had prepared for. As treasure hunters delve deeper into his clues, Posey has had to shut down his social media accounts, blocking DMs and limiting how people can contact him. The sheer volume of messages became overwhelming. But that didn't stop people from continuing to puzzle over his treasure, finding new ways to decipher the hints he's placed along the way. Posey didn't just stop with the treasure he hid, he also provided a clue to the world. In an exclusive interview with The Hollywood Reporter, he shared a cryptic hint for treasure hunters, telling them, "You don't need a high-clearance vehicle to find the treasure." With this single statement, Posey sent thousands of treasure hunters on new wild chases, encouraging them to think differently, to look for the treasure in places they might never have considered before. The clues were never meant to be easy. They were meant to challenge, to push the boundaries, and to get people to think in ways they hadn't before. So here we are, deep into the hunt for Posey's treasure, and it's clear that the game is far from over. The treasure is out there, waiting to be found, and the seekers are still hunting. Will someone be able to crack the code? Will they finally uncover the treasure Posey has hidden so carefully? Time will tell, but one thing is for sure, the hunt has just begun, and it's bound to get even more intense. Good luck, treasure hunters. Posey's treasure awaits.